The Temple of Garni, Armenian, is one of the most remarkable historical and architectural monuments in Armenia and represents a unique example of classical Greco-Roman architecture in the Caucasus region. It is located in the village of Garni in Kotek province, approximately 30 kilometers east of Yerevan, the capital of Armenia. Situated on a high triangular plateau overlooking the breathtaking Azat River gorge, the temple enjoys a spectacular natural setting and remains one of the most popular tourist destinations in the country. Together with the nearby Geghard Monastery and the famous basalt formations known as the Symphony of Stones, the Temple of Garni forms one of Armenia's most important cultural and historical landscapes. The temple was constructed during the 1st century AD, most likely around 77 AD, during the reign of King Tiridates I of Armenia. Historical evidence and inscriptions suggest that it was dedicated to Mir Mithra, the Armenian god of the sun, light, truth, and heavenly fire. Its construction reflected the close political and cultural relations between the Kingdom of Armenia and the Roman Empire. According to historical records, Emperor Nero recognized Tiridates I as king of Armenia and granted him substantial financial support, which may have contributed to the construction of this magnificent monument. The temple's architectural style, characterized by elegant Ionic columns, harmonious proportions, and finely carved basalt stones, demonstrates the influence of Greco-Roman traditions combined with local Armenian craftsmanship. For centuries, the Temple of Garni served as an important religious center where pagan rituals and ceremonies were performed. Priests and members of the royal family gathered there to worship Mir and other deities of the Armenian pantheon. The temple occupied a prominent place within a large royal complex that included palaces, audience halls, residential buildings, baths decorated with colorful mosaics, and defensive fortifications. This complex functioned not only as a sacred sanctuary, but also as a royal summer residence and an administrative center. The strategic location of Garni enabled Armenian rulers to control important routes and defend the region from invading forces. The Temple of Garni played a significant role in the spiritual life of ancient Armenia before the country's conversion to Christianity. In 301 AD, Armenia became the first nation in the world to adopt Christianity as a state religion under King Tiridates III and Saint Gregory the Illuminator. During this period, many pagan temples throughout the country were destroyed or abandoned. Remarkably, the Temple of Garni survived, possibly because it was converted into a royal residence or because of its exceptional architectural value. As a result, it remains the only standing pagan temple in Armenia and one of the very few preserved Greco-Roman temples outside the Mediterranean region. Throughout the Middle Ages, Garni continued to serve as an important landmark. Although the temple lost its religious function, the surrounding fortress and settlement remained inhabited for centuries. However, numerous invasions, wars, and natural disasters caused damage to the complex. The greatest catastrophe occurred in 1679, when a devastating earthquake struck the region and completely destroyed much of the temple. Massive columns, walls, and roof elements collapsed, leaving the monument in ruins for nearly 3 centuries. Nevertheless, the fallen stones remained preserved on the site, providing valuable information for future restoration efforts. In the 20th century, Armenian archaeologists, architects, and historians began systematic excavations and studies of the monument. Extensive restoration work was carried out between 1969 and 1975 under the supervision of architect Alexander Sahinian. Using original stones and detailed archaeological evidence, specialists reconstructed the temple according to the principles of anastylosis, preserving as much authentic material as possible. This remarkable achievement allowed the monument to regain its ancient appearance and transformed it into one of Armenia's greatest cultural treasures. Today, the Temple of Garni stands as a testimony to the skill of both ancient builders and modern restoration experts. Besides its architectural importance, the Temple of Garni has become a powerful symbol of Armenian national identity and cultural continuity. It provides historians and archaeologists with invaluable information about the religious beliefs, art, and daily life of ancient Armenia. The monument also illustrates the interaction between Armenian civilization and the Greco-Roman world, demonstrating how different cultures influenced one another throughout history. Because of its uniqueness and historical significance, Garni is frequently featured in books, documentaries, academic studies, and cultural events. Every year, hundreds of thousands of tourists from around the world visit Garni to admire its classical beauty and the magnificent landscapes surrounding it. Nearby attractions include the UNESCO World Heritage Site of Geghard Monastery, carved partly into the surrounding mountains, and the spectacular Garni Gorge, famous for its basalt columns called the Symphony of Stones, which resemble a giant natural organ. Visitors can also experience traditional Armenian hospitality, taste local dishes such as lavash and korovats, and observe the baking of Armenian bread in traditional toniers. A tourist spending one day in Garni and the surrounding area can expect to spend approximately Euro 30-60. This amount usually covers transportation from Yerevan, entrance fees, meals, refreshments, and souvenirs. Budget travelers may spend around Euro 20-30, while visitors choosing guided tours, restaurants, and additional excursions to Geghard Monastery and other attractions may spend Euro 70-100 or more. With its extraordinary history, exceptional architecture, and stunning natural scenery, the Temple of Garni offers visitors an unforgettable journey into Armenia's ancient past and remains one of the most treasured symbols of Armenian civilization, and one of the finest surviving examples of Hellenistic architecture in the world. Subscribe to the channel and like the video.